Stories have to be told or they die, and when they die, we can't remember who we are or why we're here. From Sue Monk Kidd and the Secret Life of Bees. Welcome to This Is My Story, a Lenten journey of stories from the worshiping community of Bexley United Methodist Church. I am your host, the Reverend Becky Pyatt. I pray that through our stories you may find hope, connection, peace, and joy. May God bless you on your own Lenten journey as you listen to the story for today.
Hello, my name's Lynn Swisher. Becky's asked me to share a story I've shared with her. It has to do with my trips to Guatemala with the missions group here at the church. This was not only an interesting experience, it was a true stretch for me. I've done very little international travel at the time, and I soon found, after going to Guatemala, that my reasons for going were not possibly even appropriate. I'll start with a discussion that we had at one of our get-togethers in Guatemala, and Dave Harrison shared with us that the reason that he had started to go to Guatemala was trying to make up possibly for some things he either had not done or possibly that he had done and shouldn't do. And he learned very, very quickly, after being there multiple times, that in mission work, you're really not making up for anything you're doing. And it's a good thing, but in doing so, it's not just doing good deeds. And to provide definition for that, I have to go with this Sarah Atkinson, who also went to Guatemala with us one time. And she shared with the group that when she was in seminary, she took a course on missions, and she felt that missions work was doing good deeds. And the professor took a totally different view, and Sarah took a long time in agreeing with the professor. But the professor said it had nothing at all with doing good deeds as an individual to another. It had to do with doing God's work. Now, the reason I remember these two things is when Dave Harrison spoke, he was telling me the very reason I was there was incorrect. And then my fallback position of just doing good deeds, Sarah Atkinson took away from me on another trip. So the idea that you become an instrument of God, the hands of God, if you will, was a very difficult concept for me because I never thought of myself as being an instrument of God. The last part of the story comes upon one day in Guatemala, where it's very warm. The work in the heat can be very tiring. And every day after working in the mornings, we would retire to a small church, maybe what was down the lane and turn down, and it's probably 400 yards maybe in total distance. We would have a meal and then go back to the work site. And going back to the work site, I found that the boots, the heavy work boots that I was wearing, were extremely heavy, and that I was tired, and I managed to stumble on one of the stones in the lane. And I went to catch my balance, and I looked down, and when I looked at my feet, I did not see the heavy work boots. I saw 2 feet that were gnarled, dirty, at the edge of a robe that was also dirty. I was so surprised, I almost fell down. I looked up to look at my surroundings, realized that I was exactly where I thought I was, looked back down, and all I saw was my heavy boots. That being said, that might not be the hands of God, but it certainly looked to me to be somewhat similar. That's the end of my story. Thank you very much.